Right now, you are living through a day you will completely forget. Not most of it, all of it. A year from now, this exact day, what you wore, what you said, what you worried about, will be gone. Erased so cleanly, you won't even remember that you forgot it. And the strangest part is that your brain is doing this on purpose. Out of the roughly 30,000 days you'll live, you'll keep only a handful. This is the story of where all the others go. Let's start with a number. In the 1880s, a German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus did something nobody had tried before. He decided to measure forgetting. He sat alone and memorized thousands of meaningless syllables, then tested himself over hours, days, and weeks to see how fast they drained out of his head. What he found became known as the forgetting curve, and it is brutal. Within an hour, he had lost more than half of what he had learned. Within a day, about 2/3 was gone. The memory didn't fade gently over a lifetime. It collapsed almost immediately, then leveled off, leaving only a small fraction behind. Your brain is running that same curve today, right now. Most of what is happening to you is already on its way out, and it will be mostly gone by tomorrow morning. But here's the part that changes everything. This isn't a flaw. Forgetting is not your memory failing. Forgetting is your memory working exactly as designed. Think about what it would actually mean to remember everything. Every face in every crowd, every meal, every step of every walk you've ever taken, the exact wording of every conversation. It sounds like a superpower. It is closer to a curse. We know this because a few people actually have it. There's a condition called hyperthymesia, highly superior autobiographical memory. It's extraordinarily rare, documented in only a few dozen people on Earth. They can tell you what they ate for lunch on a random Tuesday 20 years ago, what the weather was, what they were wearing. The first person ever studied with it, a woman researchers identified in 2006, described it not as a gift but as a burden. A non-stop, unstoppable stream of memory that she could not turn off. Old arguments resurfacing with full emotional force. The past constantly bleeding into the present. Because that's the thing nobody tells you about memory. To remember is useful, but to forget is what lets you function. Forgetting is how your brain clears the desk so you can actually think. So your brain made a decision long before you were born. It would not save everything. It would triage. And the system it uses to decide what stays and what goes is happening inside your head every single night while you sleep. Here's how it works. During the day, your experiences are held in a temporary buffer, mostly in a structure called the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's scratch pad. Fast, but not permanent. Everything you've experienced today is sitting there right now, fragile and fading. Then you sleep. And during deep sleep, your brain does something remarkable. It replays the day. The hippocampus reactivates the day's experiences, and, in a process called consolidation, decides which ones get promoted into long-term storage in the cortex and which ones get left behind to decay. This isn't a metaphor. Scientists can watch it happen. In a landmark set of studies at MIT in the 1990s and after, researchers recorded the exact pattern of brain cells that fired as a rat ran through a maze. Then, while the rat slept, they watched those same cells fire again in the same order, just faster. The rat was replaying the maze, rehearsing it, deciding it was worth keeping. Your brain is doing this with your life. Every night it sorts, and the overwhelming majority of your day does not make the cut. The commute, the scrolling, the 100th time you walked into your kitchen. Your brain looks at it, decides it has seen this before, and lets it dissolve. Which raises a question. If your brain is constantly deleting, what does it choose to keep? The answer is emotion. Your brain is not trying to record an accurate diary of your life. It is trying to keep you alive. And the experiences most worth keeping are the ones that carried a strong signal. Fear, joy, surprise, pain. The moments that mattered. This is why you can remember the day something went badly wrong or wonderfully right in vivid detail while the 3 weeks around it have vanished. There's even a special category for this. Psychologists call them flashbulb memories. The moments so emotionally charged that your brain captures them with the intensity of a photograph. Where you were when you heard shocking news. The first time you saw someone you loved. But here is the unsettling twist. Even those vivid memories are not recordings. Studies of flashbulb memories have shown that people are extraordinarily confident about them and frequently wrong. The details shift over the years. Your brain quietly rewrites them each time you remember, and you never notice the edits. The memory feels perfect. It is not. So even the days you think you've kept, you've partly invented. Now zoom out. There's a reason childhood summers felt like they lasted forever, and why the years now seem to vanish faster and faster. It's called the proportional theory of time. When you were 5, a single year was 20% of your entire life. At 50, that same year is 1/50th. The clock hasn't changed, your sense of scale has. But there's a deeper reason the years collapse. Novelty. When everything is new, your brain is recording constantly, laying down dense, detailed memories. A childhood summer is packed with first times, so it feels enormous in hindsight. But as life becomes routine, the new experiences thin out. The brain, seeing nothing worth saving, records less and less. And a year with few new memories in it feels, looking back, like it barely happened at all. Which means the days you will forget aren't just lost. They're making your life feel shorter. So think about today again. The day you're in right now. By the logic of your own brain, almost none of it will survive. It will be replayed tonight, judged ordinary, and quietly released. In a year, it will be a blank. In 10, it won't even be a blank because you won't know there was ever anything there to miss. And this is the truly strange part. You cannot feel it happening. You have already forgotten thousands of days completely, and you cannot point to a single one of them. There is no gap, no empty space on the shelf, no sense of loss. The forgotten days don't leave a mark. They simply were. And then they weren't. And you carried on as if they had never been counted. Your whole life is built out of days like this. Tens of thousands of them. And you will keep maybe a few hundred. The rest aren't stored somewhere, waiting. They're gone. The version of you that lived them is the only one who ever will. So if today is going to disappear, and almost all of it is, maybe the only thing you can do is notice it while it's here. Because noticing, paying real attention, surprise, feeling something, is the one signal your brain actually listens to. It's the difference between a day that's saved and a day that's deleted. You'll forget this day. There's no stopping that. But for the next few seconds, before your brain decides it wasn't worth keeping, at least you know it's happening. And that, strangely, might be enough to make it one of the ones you keep.